Honorable Speaker Say, the Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Cabinet colleagues, the Honorable Leader of the Opposition, Honorable Members of the Parliament, ladies and gentlemen, I rise to deliver my response to His Excellency the President of the Republic of Fiji's address last week. And I wish to start by thanking the President, His Excellency Major General Tochi Kondusi Konroti, for his thought-provoking address, challenging all parliamentarians to act with wisdom, foresight, and agency. His Excellency the President has fittingly outlined in his address the struggles and progress Fiji has made, emphasizing that we cannot afford to be complacent. His Excellency also provided strategic guidance on the areas of priority that include our containment of COVID-19, our economy's recovery, and our response to the climate, oceans, and biodiversity crisis. Honorable Speaker Say, I echo the sentiments of His Excellency the President on COVID-19 and our strategies on minimizing its impact. It has been a challenging year for Fiji and indeed the world as we continue to battle the health, social, and economic impacts of this virus. We have done exceptionally well to contain the virus at our borders, and we are fortunate so far to not have any community transmission. I wish to salute our healthcare professionals and border protection personnel for their sacrifices to contain the virus. They are our real life heroes. Honorable Speaker Say, COVID-19 wreaked havoc on the lives of our people when it forced the closing of our borders and many businesses. It is estimated that over 120,000 Fijians lost their jobs or are working on reduced hours. But this is where the Fiji First government took some decisive steps, and I am pleased to advise that the Ministry of Forestry is fully committed to supporting government's mission to adapt to the new normal and to work together to reignite the economy, create employment opportunities, and address food security. All this while, also addressing the ongoing threats of climate change. Honorable Speaker Say, in recognition of the need to immediately generate economic growth, the Ministry of Forestry has reviewed its business facilitation processes and is now able to provide export licenses within 24 hours. A number of companies are now benefiting from this quick turnaround time. The Ministry is working on issuing harvesting licenses also within 24 hours, taking advantage of the advancement in information technology. In the recent months, the Ministry has signed a number of agreements with agencies like the Fiji Revenue and Customs Services, Fiji Bureau of Statistics, Biosecurity Authority of Fiji, Fiji National Provident Fund, and the Ministry of Employment, Productivity, and Industrial Relations. The agreements will help in a whole range of areas, including but not limited to preventing the intrusion of threats to our biodiversity, accounting for the true value of our forest, and ensuring our industries are compliant in taxes and with the health and safety of the workers. The Ministry is also working closely with other agencies, including the Ministries of Environment, Lands and Culture, Fiji Pine Limited, Fiji Hardwood Corporation Limited and the Itauke Land Trust Board. The trust of partnership with these stakeholders is firstly to facilitate economic growth from the forestry sector, while also ensuring sustainable management of our forest. Honorable Speaker Say, in terms of our national tree planting revolution, as part of Fiji's green recovery, I'm pleased to inform the August House that we have now planted over 3 million trees and mangroves since His Excellency the President launched the initiative in January 2019. And I wish to thank all Fijians, including your good self, Honorable Speaker, who have contributed to this national effort. This achievement is a reflection that many Fijians appreciate the importance of trees and forests and how they protect the environment. In my visits to almost 300 villages around the country, I have seen that our people have a profound understanding of the role of trees and forests in addressing climate change and maintaining a balance with nature. My ministry will continue to coordinate the planting of 30 million trees in 15 years. This initiative is also helping Fijians who have lost their jobs owing to COVID-19 and have returned to their villages. Honorable Speaker Say, food security is a vital part of our tree planting initiative, especially during these challenging times. This is why the planting of fruit trees and the adoption of agroforestry practices are key parts of the initiative. Honorable Speaker Say, in our efforts to generate economic growth from the forestry sector, in a short span of time, the Ministry of Forestry is investing in non-timber forest products like bamboo, candlenut trees, otsikevi, and dilo, to name a few. These products could be harvested within 3 years, thus providing a good alternative to the timber trees, which normally takes over 30 years to mature. Fiji formally joined the International Bamboo and Rattan Organizations, or INBA, in September this year. A key target of our membership of INBA is the establishment of a bamboo research center to help rural communities not only to plant but also to process high-value bamboo products. These short rotation species will not only help ease the pressure of our native forests, but also help our ongoing fight against climate change and the restoration of ecosystems. Honorable Speaker Say, Fiji has the third largest mangrove area in the Pacific, with an estimated 46,600 hectares, most of which are on the two main islands of Viti Levu and Vanuatu. The Rewa Delta has the largest strands of mangrove ecosystem complex in Fiji. However, it is under constant pressure as well as degradation via firewood harvest, as most of these communities are still largely dependent on this vulnerable mangrove forest for a wide range of subsistence and commercial forestry and fisheries products. With funding from the International Tropical Timber Organization, the Ministry has been able to set up a community brackish shrimp pond at Narodake village in Rewa, and 3 more will open this month at Naivakavau, Waidoka, and Atila in the province of Thailand. The brackish shrimp ponds and other projects like piggery farms, tree and nurseries, beekeeping and basic sewing skills provided to the communities in Rewa and Thailand constitute alternative livelihood sources that should ease the pressure on our mangrove forests. My ministry has empowered the people of 6 coastal communities in the Rewa Delta to conserve and grow more mangroves, to combat climate change and protect the coastline from erosion while training them in alternative livelihood projects to sustain them now and into the future. Honorable Speaker say the Ministry of Forestry is currently leading the charge in implementing government's commitment to housing rehabilitation in the islands following tropical cyclone Harold. I am pleased to advise that after 30 weeks of operation in Kadavu, my ministry has managed to complete the structures of about 340 houses covering 37 villages. The number of completely damaged houses in Kadavu after TC Harold struck in April this year was assessed at 596 houses. We have purchased additional portable sawmills and are also carrying out housing rehabilitation work in Watulele, where we have repurposed timber for 15 houses, 16 in Matuku, 11 in Totoya, and 15 in Oneilau. In total, we have repurposed timber for about 400 houses in the maritime zone, and my ministry is collaborating with other agencies, including the Ministry of Rural and Maritime Development and the Ministry of Housing and Community Development, to help the villages to build back better and stronger with Category 4 cyclone resilient houses. On the same note, there is now renewed efforts in the mahogany industry to complete the boundary surveys, confirming stock availability, facilitating the full and active participation of resource owners in the industry, promoting downstream processing and value adding, and marketing our high-value products to niche international markets. Honorable Mitieli Bulanau's question yesterday reminded me of someone who is still stuck in the past. We probably have progressed way too fast that has left him wondering what has happened. In conclusion, Honorable Speaker said, we have a collective responsibility to ensure that Fiji's forest resources are managed sustainably through the engagement of all stakeholders in long-term stewardship. This means that while we want to create wealth from our forest resources, we have to strike a balance between generating economic activity on the one hand and expanding our resources, protecting our natural environment and ecosystems on the other hand. May I thank Opposition Member of Parliament, Hon Moses Bulitago, for his positive comments on the planting of 13 million trees in 15 years initiative. I also commend him for spearheading his Matangali in this tree planting program. We may sit on opposite sides of this august house, but we share a common goal when it comes to the fight against climate change and how it is important to plant trees now for the sake of our future generation. Honorable Speaker say, as we approach the festive season, let's give thanks for all that we have, because if there is one thing that we have learned during these difficult times, it is to be appreciative of life. I wish you all and families a Merry Christmas and a prosperous 2021. Pinagawalevu, Sukuria, thank you, and may God bless Fiji.